Ghee gets described like a golden loophole, butter flavor, higher smoke point, ancient superfood energy. Is there actually a health difference between butter and ghee, or are we mostly looking at the same dairy fat in a cleaner-looking jar?
Mostly, processing changed the matrix. Butter is an emulsion with fat, water, and milk proteins and sugars. Ghee is butter simmered until much of that water is gone and the solids are separated. So spoon for spoon, ghee is a more concentrated fat. It may taste nuttier and tolerate heat differently, but it remains predominantly saturated dairy fat.
If ghee has less lactose and fewer milk solids, does that make it meaningfully better for someone who feels bloated with dairy? Or is that only a tolerance detail and not a cardiovascular advantage?
Exactly. Smoke point is a kitchen property, not a health score. Removing milk solids can make ghee less likely to brown or smoke at some cooking temperatures. But your arteries do not read the smoke point. They respond to long-term lipoprotein exposure, energy balance, and the pattern of fats replacing each other. One useful randomized crossover trial compared diets rich in ghee with diets rich in olive oil in 30 healthy adults. Body weight did not differ. Compared with olive oil, ghee increased ApoB by about 0.09 grams per liter and non-HDL cholesterol by about 0.53 millimoles per liter. LDL rose numerically but was not statistically significant.
Why focus on ApoB and non-HDL instead of just asking whether people felt better? A lot of ghee claims are about energy, digestion, or feeling nourished. What makes those blood markers more important here?
Because the main medical boundary is not whether ghee feels traditional, it is whether it fits your risk profile. If you have a true dairy allergy, ghee is not automatically safe because trace milk proteins can remain. If you track saturated fat, the nutrition facts label is still your friend, not the front of jar halo.
The replacement point sounds bigger than the butter versus ghee debate. Was there research where people actually swapped ghee out for an unsaturated oil and got measurable health changes, not just a better-looking nutrition chart?
Yes, a 12-week randomized clinical trial in 110 adults with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease asked daily ghee users to substitute the same amount with rapeseed oil, while controls continued ghee with healthy diet advice. The swap group had significantly reduced liver steatosis, plus improvements in triglycerides, total cholesterol, LDL, fasting glucose, insulin resistance, weight, and waste. Mechanistically, dietary fats are digested, packaged into lipoproteins, and handled by the liver. When saturated fat is a bigger share of the pattern, LDL receptor activity can be less favorable and ApoB-containing particles tend to become more concerning. Unsaturated oils like olive or rapeseed oil shift that fat profile in a direction trials often favor.
So, who is most likely to benefit from changing the fat, rather than just using a smaller spoon? Someone with NAFLD, high LDL, family heart risk, or anyone who cooks with ghee every day?
Those are exactly the people I would individualize first. If you have NAFLD, diabetes, established cardiovascular disease, very high LDL, or you're working with lipid-lowering medication, do not treat ghee as a supplement experiment. Ask your clinician what saturated fat target and lipid markers they want followed.
If someone switches from daily ghee to olive or rapeseed oil, what should they watch? Taste and digestion are immediate, but how long before the health claim should earn or lose credibility?
For most people, the honest expectation is modest and cumulative. You're not detoxing the liver with a different bottle. You're changing repeated fat exposure. In the NAFLD trial, 12 weeks was enough to see meaningful group changes. In the ghee versus olive trial, 4 weeks was enough to see ApoB and non-HDL differences. One more caution, a higher smoke point can invite bigger pours and hotter cooking. That can erase the advantage of portion control. If you use ghee for a specific flavor, measure it, keep it occasional, and avoid repeatedly heating any fat until it smokes or smells burnt.
Then the practical answer is not never taste butter or ghee heals everything. Is it fair to say Use ghee like a strong seasoning, but use unsaturated oils as the default cooking fat?
Yes, with boundaries. Children, pregnant people, and people with medical diets do not need internet fat challenges. Anyone with dairy allergy should be cautious. Anyone with high cardiovascular risk should treat saturated fat as a number to manage, not a tradition to defend or trend to chase. So the compressed answer is ghee is a flavorful, clarified dairy fat, not a free health upgrade. Its higher smoke point may help in a pan, but it does not cancel saturated fat biology. If you use it rarely and deliberately, fine. If it is your daily fat, the best evidence favors replacing much of it with unsaturated oils.